I get to sit here till after this.
And this marks my 10th year as the MC. Yeah, we wanted to put this up here this year as more awareness comes, the more we learn from ourselves and what we can do for our community. So we do acknowledge I'm going to read it poorly, so I'm going to let you read it respectfully. Thanks, guys. So in case you missed it, 15 seconds ago I introduced myself. I'm still Kat Atwell, and I'm thrilled that you are here this evening braving the what might be horrible weather. We don't know. A couple things before we get started. Don't start my deck beat. During the show, we ask that if you want to get on social media, do. But hashtag Ignite Denver when you do it. Feel free to take pictures. We encourage that. We are going to have an intermission. If you weren't already told, the restrooms are in the back and on the right. And if you go back to get a drink, there is an area between the bar. There's a velvet rope. And between that velvet rope and the seats, we do not stand in line there. That is in case of emergency area. So in front of the ropes, great, I'm getting a drink. After the ropes, I need to get out of the building. Good? Perfect. I think we can start now. If I come up with something else, I will let you know, I promise. So, thank you again for being here at the beautiful Bug Theater. Right? Who's been here before at an Ignite before? That's a solid number. I'm very excited that you came back. As you know, we had a break during COVID, and so we're sort of tiptoeing back into it. Who here has never been to an Ignite before? That's about even. Wow, we have friends that tell other friends to come here and do this, and I'm so happy that they do. So, who here has never been here or has been here before? Amazing. Same also. I'm really glad that you're here. Like I said, we've been doing this for a long ass time. We plan to continue doing so keep bringing other people. The math. So for tonight's show, the speakers will be given 20 slides, and each of those slides get 15 seconds. So each of the speakers have 5 minutes to go, and much like what's happening right now. What won't be happening, that is a picture of a bird I took at the Rocky Mountain Arsenal, thank you, is that people will not be pitching you their businesses and how to sell shit and come see me because I want your money. If that happens, tell me. I'll have a stern talking to with them. Also, the speakers that are here tonight, they are being brave. They are doing their own thing, and they are having courage and stepping out of their comfort zones. Also a bird picture I took. So make sure that you support them and applaud them and let them know how great they are. Tonight I'm doing a talk on procrastination because it's very possible, 100% true, that I finished this last night at 10. And there are memes for days on procrastination, and most of them are really solid, like this one. I had this, I think I posted it on Instagram myself. Now, truth of facts here. Raise your hands if you think that you have procrastinated or consider yourself a procrastinator. Solid, maybe. Okay, so about 75% of us will identify at some point as a procrastinator. And why? Because we'll claim we're lazy. Like this painting called The Laziness by a Frenchman whose name I'm not going to try to pronounce because it would be wrong. But stunning photography, right? Painting. Jesus. Never mind. Another meme. So we all kind of laugh about, it's lazy, but we're going to get it done. It'll be fine. But in the meantime, aren't we great? Not necessarily. There are 20% of us who are chronic procrastinators. These are the people who are like, not really. I am one of the 20%, I'm happy to say. So what we've seen in the past and what the memes tell us is that the reason we procrastinate is that we're shitty with time management. We keep telling ourselves we can wait until later and then we'll get it done. Truth of the matter is we are trying to moderate our emotions, and the longer we try to push off the thing that could be scary and bad, the better it's going to be, we think. This, funny, not funny. Really a meme, really not funny. Believe it or not, this is like when ADHD memes, at first I thought were funny, and then I got diagnosed with ADHD, and I'm like, that cuts. And that's what a lot of these are. There was an article on LinkedIn that I absolutely could not find right before the talk that talked about how we're lazy, how we keep doing it, how it doesn't matter. I'm a white man who makes a lot of money. This is a shirt that you can read later. My mother gave this to me in 1989, which I thought was hilarious, and I wore it. And then that was a therapeutic breakthrough I had while building up my slides, that we oftentimes laugh about things that are very serious. And while procrastination, like, according to the internet, is hilarious, and according to us, it's pretty hilarious. Also, it's not. So, if you struggle with it, know that you're not alone. Know that there might be reasons other than, I can't keep a planner. And celebrate yourself for who you are. By the way, I also thought about, okay, well, we're supposed to give ourselves grace. Self-compassion is the best way to beat procrastination. I looked up heaven with AI. One of the reasons that I did not do my talk sooner is because I adopted a little girl named Parker. She's 9, she has one eye, she's almost been with me for a month now, and she has changed my life. Procrastination doesn't really matter. You guys like my talk, so it's fine. And that's how an Ignite talk goes. 5 minutes real fast. Are you guys gonna walk out of this and be like, you know what she said on slide 13? That really resonated. Of course you will. No, just I just ask that you stay engaged, that you learn from our speakers, that you hold space for them because what they're doing is fucking rad. Also, in case, I'm sorry, I didn't mention this, just to make sure, Ethan, are we live streaming? Fantastic. If anybody wants to text family members who are too afraid to drive here tonight or who live out of state and don't know what the hell you're doing this evening and you would like them to participate, ignite.denver/livestream. You can watch all of this online. And then it'll be on YouTube so you can watch it again and again and again and again. Ignite Denver on YouTube. Enough about me and Ignite Denver. All right, we're gonna have our first speakers. This is our first duo ever doing a talk before, so it's pretty exciting. And they are pretty fabulous. Robbie Hobein and David Millis. We have to emphasize the is. I did, as per usual, for right now, they're my backup dancers. I asked, hey, Stephanie Vale, who is one of our committee members, is live streaming right now. Hi, Stephanie. So one of the questions I asked is what song would be on a loop in hell? And Robbie gave me the same answer that I would have given, Baby Shark. And something that always makes Robbie laugh, farts, which is valid, except Parker, her farts are not funny. I didn't know dog farts did what they do. Anyway, without further ado, please welcome our first speakers to Ignite 40.
Tell me when to stop.
You tell me when you stop. Go ahead.
You tell me. Tall people.
All right, how about that?
So why should we even want to move away from using cars? Because the planet is burning up and you need to do something, damn it.
Nah, no guilt trips tonight. There are some surprisingly great benefits to ditching your motor vehicle. Studies show that it costs about $12,000 to own and operate a vehicle per year versus a few $100 to keep a e-cargo bike going.
And you get healthier without even really trying. To this day, whenever I get on a bike, I become 8 years old again. Riding bikes is fun.
And we rarely yell, "Whee!" in a car. And adding bike lanes improves safety for everyone in cars or bikes and pedestrians.
If every household in Denver retired a car, we could save 4 million metric tons of carbon dioxide each year. Okay, yeah, this all sounds well and good, but it won't work for me.
E-bikes excel at hauling all kinds of stuff, whether they're kids or groceries or partners. But aren't those things expensive?
For the cost of owning a car, you could buy a shiny new e-cargo bike every year and still come out ahead. Raise your hand if you could use an additional 10 grand every year. Studies show that most vehicle trips are less than 6 miles. That's a leisurely 21-minute e-bike ride.
And we're focusing on the nearby trips, not that road trip to San Diego. Yeah, but
Studies show that us overweight people feel happier when riding e-bikes. And you won't have to sweat the hills. E-bikes are magical. I don't feel safe.
we're safer when we plan the route thoughtfully, wear our helmets and our blinky lights, and ride with others, and studies show that riding is still safer than riding in a car. We started our journey a few years ago with a truck, a car, 2 road bikes, and fashionable spandex and funny shoes.
And then the question that started everything. Can we carry kitty litter on a bike?
This led to the heroic flatbed trailer, followed quickly by the amazing Urban Arrow e-cargo bike. And you'd be amazed at the stuff that you can carry on an e-cargo bike.
How about 8 bags of groceries, 4 huge leaf bags, a rototiller from Home Depot, and most importantly, Robbie. So along the way, our mindsets have changed.
Jumping in the car is no longer our default choice. We'd rather try to ride our bikes or walk or ride the train or the bus. Some of you might say, but I'm in a hurry. I gotta use the car.
But driving is stressful. Biking and walking makes me feel better. I don't care if it takes a little bit longer. And with all the bike lanes that are being built, biking is getting pretty zippy. Hey, we like our workouts too.
And the thing is, if you're walking and bicycling a lot more in your daily life, you might not need as many scheduled workouts. As a result of our journey, we've saved at least $40,000 and significantly reduced our carbon footprint.
And we're noticeably happier. The remaining car mostly gathers dust. Did you say $40,000? Okay, which brings us to today.
We sold the pickup truck and added 2 e-bikes, and we're having more fun than should be legal. Which brings us to a gentle challenge for you, our audience. Why don't we invite you to go to a local bike store which sells e-bikes and e-cargo bikes, and go for a spin.
And on Google Maps, scale out to about a 5-mile radius from your home. How many cool grocery stores and cool places are within biking range? Remember, we're not saying you have to get rid of that prized car or truck.
Just use it less. I'm Robbie Hobein.
And I'm David Millis. Bike more.
Worry less.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining us tonight.
Way to kick it off. There you go. That was wonderful. Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if you guys knew, probably not. Who here was here 10 years ago? Nobody? Okay. I didn't know how to use a mic stand then, so it was like, ha, I'm going to take it off because I didn't know how to make it shorter. Thank you, Robbie. Did you guys ride bikes here? I want to hear how you ride those bikes home. Next talk, how to use the bikes in winter. I want to be there with you, but I need to learn. I used an Uber because I didn't want to drive in it either. So like kind of, do I get sort of points?
You get all sorts of points.
Sweet, okay, somebody else is driving me. Anyway, let's go on to our, wait a second. Chris is our next speaker? Chris is our next speaker. I say with confidence. Hold please, we're gonna have a quick timeout while I pull somebody else's stuff up. Chris, come on up here. We're gonna make this super casual. Chris?
It's my height too, it works.
Oh, good, thank God. Well, you're not, okay, there we go. There it is. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about Chris now. While reading my phone. What's something that you did, Chris, when you were younger that makes you cringe to think about now? Well, I threw water balloons at cars passing by and then running, which is something that possibly you should feel bad about. Oh, there, Jesus Christ!
I tricked you.
You did trick me. What's something that makes you laugh? Seinfeld? Okay. I don't know this song, so I may need you to sing it. What song would be played on a loop in hell? Relax, go through it. Does anybody know this? You know this.
Relax, go through it. If you want to go.
You know it. All right, okay. Favorite social media accounts? Sober Dad, Daily Motivation, Thinking Mind. That's fantastic. Oh, wait. Oh, no. Cringiest dad joke is also inappropriate. It's one of, oh God. Safe space, right? It's one about a midget toothbrush salesman and a midget looking to buy a horse. There's no punchline. That's it. I just needed to say midget twice and feel really bad about it. Everybody, let's talk about Chris and front loading. Round of applause. Do your thing. Whenever you decide to start talking.
All right, everyone. What are we doing here? No, seriously, what are we doing here tonight? Right. All right, that's what you're doing. What I'm doing is I'm going to show you the front load, and I'm going to show you how to slay dragons. Now, you're probably wondering, what the hell does front load mean? Now, front load is focusing positive energy and tension towards your mind, body, and spirit every single day. Now, slaying dragons. It's kind of scary, wondering what the hell does slaying dragons mean? For me, it was anxiety, depression, addiction, and trauma from my alcohol problem. One of the hardest things I ever had to deal with. One day I woke up and I realized I needed to make a change. This is me, patient zero, 250, 5'5", ready to obviously have another White Claw, maybe hang out with another dragon. That's my older brother smiling because he knows that I probably shouldn't be having that extra White Claw. And I'm also 5'5". So, Daddy went to rehab. 45 days, I went to rehab, learned, how to slay my White Claw dragon, which I definitely had a problem with, and learned really just more tools to get past my addiction and the things I wanted to do in life. This is the hero's journey. This is Joseph Campbell. 15 seconds, can't explain it. Google Joseph Campbell. It's what I base this on, start to finish. Gotta love Joseph, good man. Now, next thing I'm gonna kind of go over is steps and also me. This is me 150 days into my front load journey. Patient zero, still 5'5", 205 pounds. Now, thank you. What you were seeing is that's more internal to external. Now, the 9 steps that front load uses. Now, 9 means spiritual awareness and spiritual completion. That's why we chose 9. Now, when you walk through this and you learn the 9 steps, this is what I did. Each person's gonna have a different thing for each step. Whether it's gonna be what you did in the morning, whether it's gonna be yoga, whether it's exercise, whether it's talk to your friend, whether it's go climb in bed with this guy named Shua and talk about how much you loved rehab. Just different things that you wanna do and different steps that you're going to do. Step 1, faith. Now for me, I got baptized on December 13, 2023. That was big for me. I was able to believe in Christ and move forward that way. For anyone else, you have to believe in something. I don't care what it is, but believe. You must have family, you must have friends, and you must have fitness. If you don't have a support system, you don't have fitness to make you feel good inside and out, and you don't have an amazing, beautiful friend group and an amazing new girlfriend named Mandy, I don't know what you can do. Step 2, I had to accept my reality. When I woke up that August 27th, 198 days ago, I wasn't happy where I was. Wasn't happy where I was going. And I knew I needed to make a change. What was I going to do? And how the hell was I going to do it? Optimism. My whole life I was optimistic for everyone else but me. And I looked back and realized I needed to be there for myself and I needed to be optimistic for me in everything I did in life. Now, never give up, like Spartan, never surrender. Now, that's what you can't do. Never give up on yourself. I never gave up. Every single morning I wanted to give up, I didn't. I knew I wanted to push forward and I knew I wanted to survive. Step 5. This is where the front load magic happens. You see that transformation. You start to see yourself change, feel yourself change, hear yourself change. And it's working. You're feeling it. You're understanding it. You're devil juice free. Step 6. Lead with love. Also give yourself self-love. If you don't love yourself, and I did not love myself, and I started showing myself self-love, that's when the world changes. You love yourself. You can love everybody. That creates opportunity. When you go through addiction and you start to help yourself through it, opportunity comes, whether it's a friend named David or a best friend from rehab named Charlie or a couple girls up front that can't stop laughing named Carly and Haley. Now, attitude. I had a horrible attitude. That year I spent $500,000 on White Claws. I was not happy. I was still pissed off and I needed to change. I knew that I needed to have an I am attitude. I am positive and I am there. Determination. Dig deep. If you determine yourself and you dig deep for yourself, your family, your kids, the ones around you, and you never give up, never forget where you came from, and you're determined to finish, that's where you end up, and that's where the front load magic happens. Thank you. Now, I want to introduce one person real quick. Shua, Joshua Soden, come up here. Hey, buddy.
Yeah, it works. No, seriously, just to qualify myself, this doesn't matter, but if you've heard of Orange Theory Fitness, 3 guys and I started it. I've been the host of the Denver Nuggets for 6 years, but nobody had any idea that I was dying of extreme alcoholism. Handle a day for a year and 2 months. And 20 short days ago, I was in a hospital bed looking at my feet, and the doctors told me that I wasn't going to make it. I needed to find a way to call my family. But I had to call someone else to call them because they wouldn't talk to me anymore. That's how bad this was for me. 3 hours later, they came in and a miracle happened. They said my blood was absolutely healthy. I was discharged to this guy's house. I haven't left since. I finally have my own underwear on. I was wearing his underwear for like 2 weeks, but I also was fast-tracked through this program, and I'm not lying. I have everything back, more love from those people, better relationships. The ones that didn't matter are gone, a whole new career in this, but I can say, like, for the first time, I don't know if this is you or not, but like, I'm truly happy, and I truly love myself, and it's because of this guy, this program, and, the hire. So thanks for letting me talk. Thanks for cheering for him. Give him another round of applause. Chris, thank you, brother. I love you, man.
I get hugs. Chris, Jesus Christ. What? Jesus. All right. Jeez. Wasn't even going to hug me. Look at him. He's meant for hugging. If anybody needs a hug after the show, please find Chris. It's true. I'm going to mention something, too, that we talked about earlier. Because, by the way, as an aside, Chris has worked his ass off on this presentation. I mean, everybody did, but, he was calling me. We were going through his slides. We met at 4:30 to go over them again. So this is fucking rad. And, yeah, right? But another thing that I'm going to say as someone who lost a best friend to addiction, this is hard. What he's doing is hard. It has rewards, but it is not easy. And so for anybody who's in it or going through it or who has been going through it, I applaud you. And I'm always here if you need to talk, because if I don't know, I'll find somebody that does. Okay, serious part aside. Boom! All right. Let's talk about Abe, whose questions I definitely don't have up either. So Abe is actually a returning speaker. I'm on my Slack channel, which is not going to help us at all. Anybody, you know what? Anybody out here, share a fact about something that happened today. I'm allowing you to be, the snowstorm. Did it happen? Rainstorm happened. Who do you follow for weather? Cody, yes, thank you. Because he's now casting. He's not forecasting at this point. Snur. Okay. Seriously, if you aren't following this guy, I think it's Denver in the Front Range weather. Is that right? Denver and Front Range Weather on Facebook. I'm hardly on Facebook, but I go on there for Cody. This guy knows his shit. So, what? Only reason, yeah, same, pretty much. Okay, anyway, I'll bring Cody up here for our next Ignite. Oh, that's not the right one. Abe, funny guy, great. Where are your intro questions, Abe? Oh God, all right. Again, I'm now regretting putting out the dad joke question, especially when it's of someone from a different culture than my own, who's telling dad-specific jokes for their culture. So I'm not even gonna say it. I'll allow Abe to share it with you, but I think the first go through with Chris showed that I'm too uncomfortable to be inappropriate. Thank you. Yeah, my filter is actually showing up. Something that makes Abe laugh on the regular is the show Friends. I still look at Friends and think that was 2 years ago. Wasn't it? It was, right? It was. I have my 30-year high school reunion this year. It's okay. Welcome, Abe. I didn't even ask you if you wanted in the hand.
Oh, I'm good.
You're good. All right.
Yeah. All right, thank you. Appreciate you all coming out tonight. So my story begins about 7,000 miles away, the town of Bani Hall, state of Kashmir, country of India. This is where my parents got married and were living and decided they needed to move to the United States for better work opportunities. They got married in February of 1979. In March of 1979, my dad moved to Chicago. My mom followed in December of 1979. They rented an apartment at Hyde Park in the south side of Chicago. My dad was at the University of Chicago, and this is where they were. And one thing they used to do was go camping all the time. The Badlands, Yellowstone, Yosemite, they went all over this great country, did a bunch of camping. They lasted about 6 years, till about 1985, till about yours truly came on the scene, and then the camping stopped. So they became parents. And, they tried to take me and my brother camping a couple times, did not work out well. So that was a chapter in the past. But anyway, we were in Chicago, and then in 1987, we moved to the city of Oak Park, the neighboring city of Oak Park. They bought a house there, middle-class house, 2,100 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, nothing fancy, but, it worked for them. And that's where we lived for 2 years, for about 3 years, till about 1990, where we moved to the city of Miami. And then bought a condo for the first part, and then bought a house. My brother was born there, so then now there's 4 of us in Miami, and we were living there till about 96, November 96, where we finally moved to Seattle. And when my parents were in Seattle, they bought another house there, 2,500 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, again, average middle-class house, just over $200,000. Nice price for the time, no longer the case. And that's what I'm talking about today. So my parents, Indian immigrants, wanted their sons to be doctors. They got one. My brother's a neurosurgeon in Philadelphia. He does very well for himself. So he's the good Indian son. I'm the son we don't talk about. But that's how it is. So anyway, he went to Philadelphia, I moved here to Denver, and we're both renting apartments, wanting to buy a house. The only thing, buying a house these days is not nearly as reasonable as when my parents bought were buying houses. The average cost for a house in Denver, median cost for a house in Denver is $600,000. Not nearly of that affordable for a lot of people. And as you can see, the average house price and the average income is, they're greatly, there's a bigger and bigger gap between the two of them. And it's causing a lot of problems. You need a lot of Benjamins to be able to buy a house these days. A lot of people can buy a house on their own, and that's great. But not everyone can. And a lot of people need help from their parents, which is great if we have that option, but it's not sustainable for everyone. For a lot of people, it's out of reach to buy a house. I think, and because they don't have the help from the parents or the money to buy a house. And when I say house, it doesn't necessarily have to be a single-family home. It could be a condo, it could be a townhouse, it could be a duplex, a sixplex. There are all these different kinds of housing. But we need more equality, we need more equity when it comes to housing, and we need to make sure that we have housing for all. And I think that's very important. And this is an organization part of UMB Denver. Our mission is to have housing for all in Denver. Anybody who wants a home of some sort should have one. We need the density in the city, not only to fight climate change, but housing gets cheaper and everyone has housing. And the more housing we have, the cheaper it's going to get. So to quote our president from the other day, build, baby, build. So basically, YIMBY Denver is about the 15-minute city. I have jobs and opportunities, everything right here. And also we want to upzone the city. Right now, 77% of Denver is only zoned for single-family housing. And that's problematic. We need to change our zoning laws so we have duplexes and sixplexes and townhouses and condos and even ADUs, which are small houses in the back of your house which you can rent out or get to relatives, and that'd be great to have. So what you can do, contact your state reps or state council members, testify in favor of bills, or have social media posts, and organizations like YIMBY Denver can help you out. If you don't know how to do that, come talk to us. Some bills in the current legislative session, transit-oriented development, there's a bill for ADUs, there's a bill for to get rid of parking minimums, one for just cause evictions, and these are all things that would make housing better and housing cheaper. And basically, we want affordable housing for everyone. Everyone should be able to live in Denver. Everyone should be able to live in the city they want to live in. And you shouldn't have to have well-off parents to be able to buy a house or buy a home. And if you want more information, this is my email address, this is my Twitter and Threads handle. Feel free to contact me. Organizations like YIMBY Denver are great. Look us up. And I want to thank you for your time tonight, and I do appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Income related to cost of home. Capitalism. Okay. Next up is Jen Ewan. I have to share a little personal story before I make you laugh with the answers to her questions. Jen has been trying to be my friend since August of last year. I've been aggressively avoiding Jen because I'm terrified of money. Happy to announce that I went and met her on purpose 2 weeks ago, and I did not die. So we are friends now. All right. But seriously, she's a really tremendous human being and had some really great answers. What's something that always makes you laugh? Me. Do you think that's hereditary? Because if so, I got that from my dad. I struggle to tell a true joke without laughing myself before finishing the punchline. This next one is incredible. What song or songs would be played on a loop in hell? Happy Birthday, as sung by a chorus of coworkers who were voluntold to do it. I think it's pretty fantastic. I'm happy to introduce you to my friend Jen. We're friends now.
So happy to be friends with Kat now. So stand up if you feel confident in a hobby, if you feel confident in a relationship, if you feel confident in your profession. I like this. Stand up. You've got to feel confident in something. Now keep standing if you feel confident with money. Got a few that are going to stand. Hold out. You can stand. Thank you. I grew up in a family that openly talked about money. That's where my financial confidence comes from. But if you sat down, that's cool because we've been told that we should feel blame and shame about money from maybe our parents, the tech bros, the people yelling at us at the internet to do this and do that and you should and why didn't you? And it's okay. So we can all just breathe for a second. Because nobody is born with financial confidence. Those who have it set the goal and they took action, and you can too. Today I'm here to talk about financial confidence. And it comes from these 3 key ingredients. The first is financial knowledge. What do you want to know? The second is your financial A-team. Thinking about anything good you've done in your life, you didn't do it alone. You did it with others. And the last is financial practice. So financial knowledge, how do you like to learn? Do you like to listen to podcasts, read books, have conversations, just try it and fuck up and see how it goes? Any of those ways are really great ways to increase your financial knowledge. My favorite answer, though, is somebody who likes to read books while in the bathtub, drinking a glass of wine while their favorite candle is lit and their favorite music is playing. So get specific on how you like to learn and increase your financial knowledge. The second is the who. Who can help you on your financial journey? The number one question I get is, can you introduce me to a financial advisor? The answer is yes, but what are your goals? Because if your goal is to buy a house or to pay off debt or to get a budget, there are probably some other people who can help you first. Like financial friends. This is a group of my financial friends. We walk our dogs in the summer and we talk about money. You can also have diverse thinkers, connectors, specialists, and mentors and mentees. We do it so well in our professional journey, and we can do it in our financial journey too. I also recommend having money conversations when there's something to celebrate, and try not to have money conversations when the credit card bill comes or a stressful experience. If that's the case, money's always going to be stressful and we're never going to want to talk about it. So get some friends together, start a money conversation. You don't have to ask what the balances of your accounts are, but you can talk about your first money memory. You can talk about, would you rather have $1 million today or $5,000 a month for life? Figure out what works for you. The third is financial practice. And that starts with our families at home. That can be our friends, but how do we start small? Think about the first time you did anything, it wasn't that great, but with practice it comes time. So if you have $1, how do you want to use it to live the life you want to live? There are investment platforms that allow you to invest with as little as $1. You can start saving on spending and putting that to a high-yield savings account to buy a home or to start a business. But just remember, we're practicing. Give ourselves grace. We don't have to be perfect, because the first time you drew your family, it didn't look great. Even though your mom hung it on the fridge anyway. But with time and practice, you can get better. So financial confidence, there are so many benefits, like spending a weekday walking on the beach of Malibu with our dog, my husband and I. We did this in 2017. We lived full-time in an Airstream travel trailer. We actually came off the road with more money than we started from by just being intentional, having clear goals, and spending in alignment with our values and goals. We cooked a lot. We had e-bikes, and that was our only car for a while. Some of my financial friends moved in with their mom while launching 2 businesses. Or another one is working to become an expat in Spain. Having financial confidence can give you the life that you want, and these are the 3 key ingredients for that. Financial knowledge, what do you want to know? How do you like to learn? Your financial A-team, who can help you on this journey? And financial practice, you have to start before you're 100% ready and just try things. Because financial confidence also has a ripple effect. It doesn't only benefit your life, but your family, your friends, and your greater community. So don't you want to have rich, healthy, wealthy friends too? Yes! So start a healthy, wealthy talk with your family and friends. If you don't have people that you feel safe talking about money with, I like to beg people for 6 months, like Kat, to be my friend and to talk about money. I'm happy to talk about money with you too.
I'm still absolutely terrified of money. Let's go back to my talk about procrastination. Those of us who don't talk about it typically have more stress and underperform, but there's time, even if it's uncomfortable and weird. Okay. 48 and starting over. All right. We're skipping this one, yes? No. Eric, where are you, and why don't I have answers to your questions?
Did you check your emails?
Uh-oh.
You can just ask me on stage.
You know what? I would love to ask you on stage. Oh my God, that top is stunning. Look at it. That's amazing. All right, so let's see. What makes you laugh all the time? Me. All right, next one. No, no, really. What's something that makes you laugh?
The ridiculous state of the world we're in.
That is a legitimate answer. Do you have a dad joke? And if so, is it appropriate?
What about mom jokes?
Okay, moving on. Mom joke. Just kidding. That was self-deprecating. We can ignore it and also know that I'm in therapy and working on it every day. Didn't mean to make this about me, Eric. Back to you. I don't remember what my other questions were. A song that would play on a loop in hell.
I like the happy birthday one, and I really like that, but I would like it in maybe like a family setting, but you don't really get along with your family, or people that you generally don't talk to are there because they have to be, and it's that happy birthday.
Oh. That makes me itchy.
So I would agree with that. I don't know who's...
All right, yep, that was Jen. This is Eric, who's definitely here. And I'm so happy that you are. I don't know how I didn't see you when you came in. Enough about me. I'm going to go back and obsess about the fact that I was not prepared. Give me a hug.
You know, you can practice this over and over and over again, but until you get up here, it seems like everything kind of erases. So I'm excited to be here. For those of you who were here for my talk last year, you know what this is, and I'll get to that in a minute. My name is Eric Rooney, and you're not going to see any words on these slides. You're going to see some photos of a flower farm I opened 3 years ago and began working with a local crematory to return liquid essence or effluent back to the earth. Colorado is a leader in choice. Raise your hand if you like choice. Could be at a buffet, it could be picking out an outfit, it could be really anything. Now something for a little bit different. Raise your hand if you yourself or somebody you know has been diagnosed with cancer or dementia or some life-altering disease. If you look around, I would say it's well over the majority. And it's important to consider what your options may be when you're faced with a terminal illness. Here in Colorado, we are the leader when it comes to choice, whether it's the 5 burial options that we have here, or choosing to end your life when you're diagnosed with an immediate terminality. I spent a lot of time educating folks on what their rights are. And if there's anything that you leave with tonight, I'm going to ask that you begin to have conversations with the people that you love and yourself. And when it comes time, what is your legacy going to look like? How will we celebrate your life? One of the biggest gifts you can give your family is by having those plans made so that they can grieve. There's something that connects us all, and that is grief. And the journey, I believe, can look a little bit different if you're prepared. There's 5 forms I'm going to ask for you to look up and to review. The first is the Colorado MOST form. This form, through a terminal illness, a terminal diagnosis, is going to support you in maintaining your autonomy. Raise your hand if you are a DNR, a do not resuscitate. I took my dog to the vet last week, and before I left, she said, one more thing. If your dog goes into cardiac arrest, do you want us to do CPR? And I said, no. And that's my choice too. I don't want CPR on me either. But if you haven't had these conversations with your families or your loved ones, they're going to be making the choice for you. Colorado MOST form, a living and last will. There's different specifications in each, so it's important that you consider those. A financial power of attorney. I'm sure that Jen can tell you it's really important to have a financial power of attorney. And the last, most important form, which I would say you should consider within the next week, is a medical power of attorney. God forbid you are unable to make choices or communicate what you would like. These forms are going to help aid your dignity and your autonomy. Separate from those forms, Colorado is a leader in green burial. Raise your hand if you heard of green burials. Awesome. This is my burial shroud. When I die, I'll be wrapped in this exact one. And it's pretty special to me because a lot of times people don't consider that. And for me, it's autonomy. I know exactly what's going to be happening through my documents. The 5 burial options are casket burial, flame cremation, water cremation, human composting, and natural burial. I will be naturally buried, wrapped in this, put into the ground. And oftentimes I tell people, I'm not selling you on new athletic wear or a vacation package. You are going to die. And it's important to visit death so that we can be present now. We can say our I love yous more. I'm sorry more. We have these memes that show us our skeletons are all the same. Well, guess what? We're going to die too. I'm 35 years old. I'm a death doula. You've now visited my farm. All of you are welcome to Half Moon Farm in Lakewood, Colorado. And really what I want people to do is to just document their final wishes so that their dignity, legacy, and their story can be preserved. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. If you have any questions, my information's on the next slide. I feel like I make death a little bit more interesting, and I believe that death curriculum should be implemented in public schools, especially where children are shot and killed in classrooms.
I'm fine. Nothing to see here. Dean is shorter than me. All right. Funny fact. So you've seen me come out here and be very surprised by the speakers that have come out each time. It's because Dean has been sitting next to me backstage. So every time I have come out here very confident to introduce Dean. And I'm happy to say that time is now. And I am ready. I don't want to diminish what Eric just said. I think it's fantastic, and I do think that it's important that folks have their paperwork on hand. I learned a lot from your talk. Again, procrastination, but also that's valuable and something that I'm going to really make an effort to complete. So, what? Thank you. All right. Eric makes dying more fun. All right. And it's true. Let me get my paperwork done first. Okay. Let's talk about Dean, who I am very familiar with his answers on. All right. And he answered all of them. What's something that you did when you were younger that makes you cringe? We used to skitch, which I did not know what that meant, in the winter, which was hanging on to the back of cars during the winter months. Do they still do that today or only in the virtual world? I've never seen anybody do that. But maybe was it Teen Wolf? Back to the Future. It was thank you. All right. They still do it. Okay, noted. Dean, noted. Let's see. What's something that always makes you laugh? I laugh at a lot of things. Valid. But two of my favorite comedians are Dave Chappelle and Tamua, who I don't know and I'm going to look up. What song would be played on a loop in hell? Ugh. Any contemporary classical music. It hurts my ears. I'm going to trap you in an elevator, Dean. This is great. What are your favorite social media accounts to follow? Social media? I only have an Instagram account, but I limit it to 10 minutes a day during my stretching routine. Me too. Same, Dean. 10 minutes. That wasn't set to be funny. I aspire to Dean levels. Last but not least, we'll skip one. Cringiest dad joke. Dang, I'm a professor. Facts are always changing based on research. Oh, that was it. Sorry, that was not a dad joke. My bad. Ha ha! I asked what the most impressive random fact that he knew, and he said, dang, facts are always changing. Okay. I said I was ready for Dean. Clearly I was not, but you will be. This talk is going to blow your mind. It already has impacted my life. So, without further ado, here's Dean.
Aloha, everybody. It's a little bit chilly out there, but that doesn't mean that we can't have a little aloha. So, oh, thank you. So let's try it again together. Aloha. Oh, did you feel it increased about 10 degrees? Yeah? We're going to talk story, and this is a big part of Hawaii culture, but for 5 minutes, it's almost impossible. So I'm going to try and share a couple words of Hawaiian with you and give you some insight into how to use aloha. So why Colorado? Well, in Hawaii, we have Mauna, mountains, and many of you probably moved to Colorado because of the mountains. And so there's a celebration of the land, or Aina, as we would say in Hawaii. But wait. I have to say that I'm not Hawaiian. I was actually born and raised in Chicago, Illinois, but my wife and I did live in Honolulu for about a year and a half. And so we dug in. And what's really important for you to know about the Hawaiian culture today is that it was really formed by the immigrants that came to work the plantations. These were the Chinese, the Koreans, the Japanese, the Filipinos, the Portuguese. And they had to communicate. And so they came up with this language and these really fun words. And I'll let you read through those. But they had to communicate. And that was so important for them. And one of the most important or iconic modes of communication is the shaka. And so Hamana Kalili started with this, but he had his 3 fingers cut off, and it became this. He didn't cut it off by himself. It was an accident in one of the sugar mills. So he went from this to aloha. And so there's different ways that people use the shaka. The little kids do this, oh, hey, what's up? As you get older, it's like, hey, brah. Oh, hey, brah. Sister. So I want everybody to try it. Look to your neighbor, look across the way and say, hey, well, how's it, brah? Ah, sister. Oh, what about me up here? Come on. Don't forget about me. Oh, how's it, brah? An important part of the cultures merging was, of course, the food. And so you'll see all of these wonderful Filipino dishes mixed with Japanese, mixed with Korean. And they learned, of course, they were masters of the slow movement. Slow cooking a lot. So you sit at the table for quite a long time to eat and enjoy each other's company. So it's really, aloha is about slowing down. And when you make lei, you have to pick the flowers, you have to sort the flowers, you have to thread the flowers. But maybe one of the most important parts of the lei is that you give it away and you share it. Now, did I say masters of slow movement? Yeah, when I first saw that, I was like, hey, there's lawnmowers. He goes, no, brah, take your time, brah. And he's, impossible. So there's some really wonderful sayings that are an important part of the Hawaiian culture. Just think about that. If you can. But if no can. No worries. How great is that? So I'm going to set the mood for you. Just listen and watch. Now, this brings me to this. Hawaiian drivers have a really bad reputation for being bad drivers. But that's not true. That's because they slow, brah. They drive the limit. They're waiting for you to cut in. So, fast forward to Colorado. How many of you, do you wait or do you speed up? Wait, one of those. And so what happens is you get angry, and so instead of showing the single whaka finger, no, you say, hey, brah, I know your signal no work. I know you're watching your phone, brah. So as we roll out the last couple slides, remember why we moved here, the Aina, the land, Mauna. Take your time, and most importantly, communicate some of these words. So let's remember, aloha is hello, goodbye, but thank you. It's more about how you say hello, goodbye. So let's try it one more time from the very beginning. My name is Dean Bukhauser, by the way. So let's try it one more time. Aloha. Thank you very much.
He's just chuckling at me. Like, someday you'll get it. I'm gonna get it. I actually used it on Pena Boulevard. One finger almost started, and I'm like, oh, Dean said aloha! And it's really been working for me, honest to God. You say it. I felt the energy in here. It was really cool. You know what else is really cool? This lady. Is she still up there? Otherwise, that would be weird. God damn it. This lady. I have a screen right here that I could have glanced at to know whether or not Stephanie was still on the screen, but I am so in tune with you guys, I did not pay attention. Stephanie Vale, she would be here right now, but she is on live stream. She is watching on, hello, everybody say hey, Stephanie. Hey, Stephanie! She is actually sponsoring our event right now. She is an absolutely tremendous realtor and human, like human. I aspire to be more like Stephanie every day. No joke. One of the most sincere, genuine, caring people I know. I have not bought a house from her, but I bet if I did, it would be a fabulous experience. Now, let's all say aloha one more time. Aloha. Let's take that energy into our intermission. You've got about 15 minutes, and then we will keep going. Hope that you're enjoying it so far. Bathrooms back there, drinks back there. if you're considering leaving, it's still just a gentle sprinkle outside, and I'm not bullshitting you. I was outside. However, there are some speakers who have to drive back to Fort Collins and will need to leave right away. And for that reason, speakers, if you please come to the stage right now so we can take a big group picture, that would be great. Everybody else, continue intermissioning. Aloha. Aloha, Dean? Dean, aloha. Oh, no. Aloha. Oh, yeah, feel free to film me. Where's Kai? I don't know where Dean went. Dean! 5, 4. All right. No, Dean. Dean will be here in
That's actually a fake person.
stuff around because you're brave. Give yourselves a round of applause. I just had a flashback when Alex flashed the lights to let you know that intermission was ending. I lived in Chicago in 1989, and woohoo, Wheaton though, Wheaton. And I went to see my first show, and it was Les Mis, and I dressed up because I was like, somebody's going to see me from the theater world and go, and I was ready for it. And so I was in the lobby, and I was like, well, what kind of sweet treat could I get that would still be appropriate for a burgeoning Broadway star? And so I got I got a popsicle, the vanilla with the chocolate on the outside, the shell. So I'm nibbling on it, and they flashed the lights, which I thought meant go time. And I went to run up the tiny stairs that shouldn't count as stairs, and I tripped, and I smashed the popsicle into my face. I had chunks of shell hanging off of me, and this woman was right above me, and was oh. And then walked away, and I'm that was her. She was, oh. But now I'm here on stage at Ignite Denver. Who's the real winner? This girl. I even have Janice questions up. Wait, but my Face ID isn't working. Okay. The weirdest movie that Jana has ever seen, but also one of her favorites. Anybody seen Condor Man? Okay, great. From 1981. I haven't. It's a goofy spy adventure movie about a comic book writer who will only put things in his comic books that actually work. He gets caught up in a Russian spy defection. It's hilarious. It's either that or ice pirates. She's terrified, oddly enough, of the sound electric can openers make. And as far as the song in Hell, she said, I was a theater major. The songs from Annie Warbucks, the musical sequel that no one else asked for, were my personal hell for 8 shows a week for a month in 1996. All right, folks, ignore the fact that I'm sweating profusely, because coming up now is a woman that came here from Fort Collins and shortly will be returning there. Jana, please, round of applause. Oh, yeah, good.
Thank you, ma'am.
Wait, your eyeshadow looks amazing. Great, thank you.
Conflict is everywhere. We've got 2 wars going on, it's an election year, and Thanksgiving is gonna be fun. Pick a topic and you will find people arguing about it. We cannot escape it. And conflict shows up in the most interesting places in our relationships. This is the actual patent, take note. Now, most of us don't enjoy conflict. Some of us even have trauma around it. And many of us have been trained not to do it. This movie ruined an entire generation of people for healthy conflict. You don't have to be nice, you should be kind. And as St. Bernays says, clear is kind. And while we are all very tired of arguing, we should continue to engage in healthy conflict because it's the only way to ensure that everyone has a voice in the outcome. And when you have a voice in the outcome, you're more committed to it. Because if we expect and rely on consensus, a single person can hold everything up. Have you seen Congress this year? Conflict paves the way for us to be able to commit to a decision and move forward. Now, we all have a primary conflict style that we use, especially when we're under stress. And we learn it early when we're kids in difficult situations with people who do not love us. Would you like to learn your conflict style? This is where you say yes. Great. Okay, so we have a framework called the TKI. It's been around about 50 years, and it's considered the gold standard in conflict. There's a bunch of online resources for it, and you can take an assessment. But it starts with 2 things. The first is how much it's important to you to get your needs met, how assertive you are in something. The other is how much it's important to you to get other people's needs met, so how cooperative you are. And we have 5 styles that populate the chart. The ones in red are about getting your own needs met. The ones in blue focus on other people's needs, and the one in purple is pretty even between them both. Now, I'm going to give you a little bit about each style and see if you can recognize yourself. Compete is for people who like to win. Sometimes they're selfish bastards, sometimes they're lawful good fighting for a just cause, occasionally they're both. And sometimes it is just about the lasagna. Collaborate is for people who really want everybody to have a win and they don't care how long it takes, or if the other person involved is having a good time, or if they're getting anything else done in the meantime. It can be exhausting. Now, compromise is the one we tend to use most often. It's I give something up, you give something up. And this is the one that's fastest and the one we will typically move to when we're stuck. Parents and teenagers are very familiar with this. Avoid is useful when we're trying to conserve energy and time or not rehash old decisions. Now, sometimes that means people will use humor and sarcasm to deflect difficult conversations. Watch the Pickle Rick episode. So accommodate is about when the relationship is the most important thing to you. So you will give the other person what it is that they want. But when you give and give and give and never get your own needs met, eventually you're going to blow up and start to smash things. So here is your mission should you choose to accept it tonight. Discover your own conflict style and determine whether or not it's right for the situation you are in and whether or not it will get you the outcome you need and want. Here's me. I'm high on compromise and high on accommodate. Now those two things are important, and depending on the outcome, I will use whichever one I want to get what I need. This is important to know because my husband is also high in accommodate. So I'm over here trying to get his needs met. He's over here trying to get my needs met, and the problem is very lonely in the middle, not getting solved. So relationships become easier when you realize you can start to shift your conflict style to help get you out of the situation. The pro tip is compromise is usually the best place to turn to get you out of most conflicts. Now, there's a lot of information out there, and sometimes you just need to walk away because the other person might not actually be interested in solving the problem or engaging in healthy conflict. And despite how much you like having the last word, you probably ought to walk away. So, there's lots of resources out there. If you're interested, please feel free to email me and I will send you a cheat sheet on how to identify your own conflict style. I do not hold any guarantees that it will help you solve your toilet paper problem. Thank you.
Extra round of applause for a woman that now has to drive up north. Also, I'm a hard accommodation girl, so if you need permission to do anything that I may disagree with, come see me. I'll probably let you do it. The next person that we have coming to the stage, I fell in love with the moment I saw them. True story. Their name is Kali Love. The thing that they laugh at most often is the ever-annoying expression of the patriarchy that keeps men's interests above women and non-binary folks who know there's something better for us all. Cringiest dad joke, what's a neuron's favorite type of music? Anything with synapse. And this is going to take, I should have had a drink beforehand. Impressive random fact. I know the fourth longest word in English. Pneumono-ultramicroscopic silicovolcanoconiosis. So I'll be asking all of you to spell that after the show. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce Kali to the stage.
Pneumona ultramicroscopic silicovolcanoconiosis. You're welcome.
Fine.
I'd like to begin by asking you all to imagine your favorite dish. It's rich, flavorful, and it's just the right blend of spices. Now, imagine if that dish were missing something essential, something that makes it unique, vibrant, alive. That missing ingredient, I call it neurospiciness. And today we'll explore why it's crucial in our workplaces. The term neurospicy may be playful, but the subject is profound. It encompasses those of us who are neurodivergent, who face mental health challenges, who identify differently. People like me. Hi, I'm Kali, and I am a smorgasbord of neurodiversity and mental challenges. I was born 3.5 months early at 1 pound with a 4% chance of living, and I have walked a path filled with trauma, with labels like autistic, addict, ADHD, PTSD, trans, homeless, and more. But we're taught as a society to hustle and grind. So I got 3 degrees early and started an ad agency in North Carolina and a distribution company in New York. And I was kind of killing it, but I couldn't handle the burnout that came from having to hide so much of who I am and what I was going through. And I'm not the only one whose brilliance is being caged. Given that half your lives are spent working, I don't exactly believe in work-life balance. It's all your life. So despite my success, I couldn't see any place in the corporate world, not for someone like me. I never thought I could be the person standing before you here today, but something changed. I found a place that believes work can heal the world, a place where I could be neurospicy and bring my whole self to my work. I began expecting to be a contract worker on one project and ended up contributing so much value that I am now a co-founder, part of steering the company's future. My neurospiciness hasn't been a hindrance at all. It's added flavor to my work. But why is my story an exception rather than the rule? Why are so many capable neurospicy fireballs extinguished, their value literally left out in the cold? It's not about political correctness or ticking boxes. It's about the true value of diverse humanity. It's about seeing that behind every person is the unique individual that contribute incredible value. Neurospicy teams actually perform better than the rest. Neurospicy individuals can have 140% higher task-specific productivity and 45% more innovation. And neurospicy teams are 45% more likely to report growth and 70% more likely to capture a new market. And inclusive cultures are 80% more likely to outperform their peers. So, see, creating cultures of inclusivity, belonging, and inclusion isn't just about warm, fuzzy feelings. It's about a better bottom line, because creating a workplace that works for people who are different is creating a workplace that works for everyone. So it's time we stop being afraid of what we don't understand. It's time we stop and take the time to understand and decide how we as leaders will bring about this important change. So here's my recipe. Number 1, understand and educate. Learn what it means to be neurospicy and teach your teams about neurodiversity. Provide tailored support, offer flexible working conditions, mental health support, and personal growth opportunities. Foster an inclusive culture, offer open communication, value diversity, and celebrate unique contributions. And most importantly, measure and reflect. Regularly review your policies and practices, ensuring they align with a psychologically safe environment. This is my plea. Let's not create workplaces that just accept neurodiversity, but accommodate and celebrate it. Let's recognize that a mind that thinks differently isn't a broken mind. It's a mind that can break molds, that can see the future, that can change things. I'm saying inclusivity is the future. It's not just the path to a more equitable world. It's the path to a more vibrant, richer world, a world where everyone can have a seat at the table, where every voice can be heard, where every neurospicy individual can contribute their unique flavor. And in that world, my friends, we won't just have better businesses, we'll have better lives. So let's embrace the neurospicy and let's get cooking. And if you resonate with anything I've said tonight, please contact me. Together, we can unleash our whole selves and change the world for the better together. I am Kali Love, and thank you, Ignite. And thank you all for being here. I love you all.
So one problem of being an MC when you're an emotional person
is that you see people like Holly do talks that resonate so well, especially as a parent of a neurodivergent, neurospicy teen, as a neurospicy person. Knowing that these talks, however humble in the Bug Theater, really do lend themselves to changing the world and making it a safer environment for everybody. So, fun fact, my secret power is wearing false eyelashes when I come onto the show. And not this morning, what the hell? I was backstage at roughly 6:30 and I blinked and one of them fell off. And I'm like, wah! And then another one came off the other eye and I'm like, no! So my superhero cape came off in the form of 8 different sections of eyelashes, and so I'm up here without my eyelashes and with mascara. So if my face looks weird now, I'm sorry. It's my eyelashes' fault. My God, thank you. It's a great face, right? Thank you. I appreciate it. Please hug me later. All right, are we ready for the next talk? His name is Spike, and you know what? Spike's mom and dad are watching right now. This is what live stream is for, ladies and gentlemen. From Spike, what's something that you did when you were younger that makes you cringe to think about, makes me cringe to think about now? Riding our bikes in the summer nights, chasing the pesticide trucks, and their clouds of poison for kicks. Hey, Spike's mom and dad. Okay. Did you know what Spike was doing when you were... Also, what is the most impressive random fact you know? It is impossible to hum while holding your nose. Fortunately for everyone, I tried doing it backstage. He is correct. But still, if you want to try, please do. I like proving things wrong, and I couldn't. It was like a weird guttural moaning noise. I mean, but yeah, no humming. Anyway, let's bring Spike out to the stage.
Thank you. Hey, wait a minute. You did this to me last time. You're not going to give me a hug as you go?
Oh my God!
Yes, you did that last time. All right.
Really?
I'm not bumping you off. Let's keep that going. Let's keep this energy going, folks. You can make noise during mine. Is anything made you guys mad about money in the last year? Yes or no? Yeah. How about the last month? What about today? Anything tick you off? Absolutely. Well, I'm going to try to provide some solutions for you before I'm done. But since we're here in Denver, do you guys remember what an Epic Pass cost when they first came out in 2008? It was like $300, $400. Does anybody know what they cost now? Yeah, $1,000, nearly triple what they once cost. And do you get 3 times as much mountain to ski down? So many things have tripled, not just here in Denver, but across the country. Home prices since 2008 have tripled. The cost of eggs has tripled. This receipt went viral last week. This is burgers, fries, and a soda at a fast food restaurant for $22. I don't think we can call what's going on right now just regular plain old inflation. In fact, there's a lot of words we'd like to call it, but I've created insaneflation. The meteoric rise of all costs and goods and services at the same time across industries. My car insurance a few weeks ago, it went from $250 every 6 months to $789 every 6 months. I hadn't been in an accident, nothing changed. I called them, I said, what's going on? They said, inflation. But here's the thing, folks. Capitalism can work when there's independent, competitive pricing. Capitalism does not work when inflation becomes Tony Soprano and says, I'll give you 2 choices, either pay me more or pay me more. And that's what's going on. But seriously, capitalism, I'm on both sides of this. It can work. We've seen higher cost things like mutual funds give way to things like exchange traded funds. We've been cutting the cable cord to use things like streaming services, right? And right now, whether you like it or not, we're still the #1 country in the world for GDP. We have accumulated the highest amount of assets, $269 trillion in assets, and it might have something to do with the fact that we work more days of the year than any other country on this planet. So all of these #1s that we are, it should make sense that we have a balanced budget, right? Not even close. $34 trillion in debt, but I will tell you this. You and I are paying our fair share. We pay over 52% of the taxes that go to our federal government, and only 10% of that comes from the corporations. taking a deeper dive into this right now. I look back from the Employee Benefit Institute and the Economic Policy Institute. Back in the 1960s, CEO to worker pay was about a 20-to-1 ratio. Today, it's on average over 341 to 1. That's over 1,200%. All right, so let me give you an example. There is one billionaire CEO out there right now who a few weeks ago actually asked for $56 billion in annual pay. And he pays his top-line factory workers $39 an hour. That's 700,000 to 1. And here's the thing. This fellow could afford to pay those workers $100 an hour, making his factory workers earn over $200,000 a year, and he could still afford to build his rocket ships and play astronaut with his buddies. So let me give you an example of a boss man who did it right last year. This boss man created over $5 billion of revenue all across the country. They were so pleased with their lower level workers that they actually tipped and not only paid their annual salary, but tipped each one of their truck drivers, 50 local truck drivers, over $100,000 apiece. Does anybody know who this boss man is? Taylor Swift, that's right. We need more T Swifts making the rules out there. So let me give you some things to do right now to be aware of. Number one, be aware of taxes over the next few years. Consider using a Roth 401k where we maybe pay our taxes now if taxes go up on us later. Another thing we want to do is you know how to take a look out for costs when you're shopping. No matter what you do, you need to do the same thing with investments. Most people on the far side over there, you look at returns. You also need to take a look at the expense ratio. These are all the same, but they all have different costs. And I know I'm talking about money, but I truly believe this. The most valuable capital that every single one of us has is our personnel bank account, the people in our lives. This is what we need to value most. Lastly, if I can just say this out there, if you can, give when you can. Now, I'm no Taylor Swift, so the best thing I can do to lead by example, for the next 10 people who go up to the bar, I've just pre-purchased the next 10 beverages. Those are on me. I'm serious. Go to the bar. Folks, you can have capitalism with compassion. And that's what I'm trying to strive for. And if you'd like to try to figure out how to do that together, you can scan my QR code. If you're frustrated about stuff, I love to hear your stories. Thank you for your time. Be kind to each other.
I'm going to give you a real big.
I know.
And now I'm going to the bar.
Yeah, go to the bar.
I'd also like to mention tonight that Uber and Lyft is available for those of you who do take advantage of Spike's next drink that's on him. Seriously, that's humbling. And I didn't know that about Taylor Swift, but I am a Chiefs fan. Sorry. I'm from Kansas City. All right, anyway, my personnel account is pretty impressive. The other one we can talk to Jen Ewan about later. Ed. Let's talk about Ed. First of all, he is phenomenal. When I met him, I was like, oh, this guy's got his shit on lock. He just looks like a guy that knows what he's doing, which I realize seems pretty basic, but you know them when you see them. He will walk out here and you'll be like, damn, she's right. So prepare yourselves. So songs that would be played on a loop in hell. I don't know these, so feel free to break out into song if you would like. If not, that's okay. We can make them up in our heads. Matt Redman, 10,000 Reasons, Bless the Lord. Followed by Arthur Brown's The God of Hellfire, just over and over and over again. The other one, and this really is truly an impressive random fact, although Kali, your 18-syllable word was also very impressive. You're welcome. Everyone in the audience right now has 380 trillion viruses and 38 trillion bacteria living on or in your bodies right now. So I'm gonna go gargle, and in the meantime, I'm gonna introduce you to Ed. Ed, come on out. I didn't know you were, oh, righty.
I bring friends. So when Kat looks out, I'm sure she sees a live audience. But what I see is a bunch of mortals. Welcome, mortals. You're in the right place because we're going to talk about your funeral options. So our ancestors used to leave the dead out for scavengers. But when the earth got populated with about 1 million, they started burying them or throwing them on fire pits, not to attract predators. But a much cooler way to go is what Ted Williams, Baseball Hall of Famer, did. He had his head severed and cryogenically frozen. And his wish is to be mixed with Betty Crocker. He hopes to come back as a better batter. Now you could have your body mixed with alfalfa straw and hay for human composting. You'd fill the back of a bed of a truck, but you wouldn't necessarily be freed of pathogens. Now, if you saw the movie The Birds, wouldn't it be a poetic irony if Alfred Hitchcock had a sky burial? Vultures came down and picked the flesh off his bones? Serve him right. Now, you could also have a burial at sea. It's not very environmentally friendly, do you think, to put a casket out in the middle of the ocean? No. And there's also some things that even Jaws shouldn't eat, right? Mammals. Now, we all like Ignite, and so some of you are probably going to get ignited. So this is a petrochemical cremation. The body goes in. 95% plus harmful emissions go out the smokestack. But look what's inside there. Right, and we're in a crowded theater, and this has been on my bucket list. So on the count of 3, I want, backwards, everyone to shout this. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Fire! Very good, we're all going to hell. All right, so what is this? You're right, it's a toxic waste site. It's the least environmentally safe way to go. For generations, resources will be spent caring for the dead. I bet you never thought of being mummified. Neither did Norman Bates' mother, right? But mummification is legal. It's about $100,000, takes a couple months. It's an option. But there's another way to go. Let's say you wanted to travel the world and see lots of museums. Plastinization is for you. They take all the water out of your body, all the fats, replace it with plastic to stop your decay. Some people might get abducted by aliens. There's no body left. Or if you saw Breaking Bad and you hang out with the wrong people, you could end up in a bathtub with acid poured on you. No body for your funeral. About 15 years ago, I decided to try to create sustainable funeral options. This is an aquamation system. It's a piece of shit. We had brains left over. We had marrow left over. We had fats left over. So in 2019, my wife and I, we got a team of professors in biochemistry and a rocket engineer to see if we could solve all the problems. That's me in the middle. We won Denver Startup. Now look, if you go to the Brown Palace and you find this, it's going to be your last bath. Not only are they going to put the water in, but they're also going to put in some potassium hydroxide, some alcohol. In about 3 hours, there you were before, and there you are after. Yeah, you get twice as much bones back. All your medical implants will still be there. They could be donated, they could be recycled. But on top of that, you also get back your essence. It didn't go out the smokestack. It didn't get buried. This is a powerful plant biostimulant, and it enables 4 new sustainable funeral options. The first of which is aqua composting. So there, your natural organic essence becomes a soil amendment. Take the bones and put them with the liquid, and now you've got an aqua burial. No cemetery plot. Just keep the bones. Donate the essence to a farm. You're a beautiful plant biostimulant at this point. Or leave your essence high and then have an aqua burial at sea so you can reverse acidification. So I do want your bodies, when you're dead, to help save the plankton's exoskeleton from being dissolved by carbonic acid. So if you've never done anything good in your life, now your final act can be beneficial to your survivors. Oh, there's real bones in here.
There's real bones. Excuse
Here.
me. I'm going to take a glimpse. Really?
Yeah. Who's in the bucket?
Okay.
Somebody who kicked the bucket.
Ooh. Wow, that's crazy. I learned so much from Ed. Thank you. I'd hug you, but you're holding people. It's kind of surreal, right? Did anybody recognize Eric in one of those slides? Yeah. The essence is fruitful. Is that? Oh, that sounded kind of like cult. That sounded culty. I'm not in a cult. Soylent Green is people. I'm sorry. Are there a few people out here that know Megan Miles? So weird. It's probably because she's awesome. She was one of the first people to respond to every question, and I won't fuck up the dad jokes one like I did with Dean. I'm not even going to read the questions. She used to voluntarily dip cucumbers into ketchup and eat them as a snack. Something that makes her laugh. This made me cringe. An old YouTube video of a monkey sticking his finger up his butt and then smelling it. The smell is so horrible, he then lifts his hands up in the air and falls off of a tree. The songs in hell, any and all country songs except Texas Hold'em by Beyonce because that song slaps. I know that's right. I heard you. What are your favorite social media accounts to follow? Hashtag server life. Hello. Server_life. Server life. Next up, at bitchy waiter. That's great. And at anti-skates. Weirdest movie that you've ever seen? Describe it. Vampire's Kiss. Description? Nicolas Cage. What does a pig use to strum his guitar? His hamstrings. And Megan wrote that herself. Last but not least, a cockroach can be submerged underwater for 45 minutes and still live. Ugh. It's right up there with the quadrillion viruses that are on my person right now. I've known Megan for a long time. She's fucking hilarious, and I'm very excited to have her on our stage for the first time. So please, for those of you that know and don't know Megan, round of applause. Michael, stand here. In hand. Okay, we're doing this really smoothly. All right, there you go.
Thank you. Raise your hand if you've ever met a fuckboy before. Great, we're in good company. Tonight we're going to explore how to attract and keep America's most sought-after forbidden fruit, the fuckboy. So buckle up, it's about to get real. Megan's dictionary defines a fuckboy as follows: an attractive individual who loves casual sex, hates long-term relationships, and avoids communication. Every morning they eat a big bowl of hidden insecurity and wash it down with a warm cup of narcissism. Some work out and some don't because it cuts into their partying. Some play instruments and some just prefer to play mind games. Some love to dance and some wear tight pants. They love dogs, plants, and fish because of the silent attention that these creatures are capable of giving them on a regular basis. And they have a lot of charisma, or riz, as the kids are saying these days. They are very generous lovers, and they will repeatedly take you to Pound Town via the fuck truck. After all, they are certified dickmatists. Dickmatists, gifted individuals who will swing their dicks right in front of you, sending you into a delusional state of dicknosis. Dickmatist, you're getting very horny. Dickmatist, multiple orgasms are in your future. Now, if you're as crazy as I am, this sounds exciting. In order to attract one, we must Discovery Channel our way into their natural habitat. Great news. Fuckboys are everywhere. Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, Instagram, King Soopers, Target, Walmart, Walgreens, 24 Hour Fitness, Choose Fitness, Orange Theory, Orange County, South Orange, Red Rocks, Yoga Box, Temple, Gin Mill, Milk Bar, My Front Porch, Your Mom's House, Call Your Mother, Fellow Traveler, and of course, the Bug Theater. Yes. Now, if your local business did not make the list of frequent fuckboy destinations, please contact me after the show and I will make sure that they get added. So how do we attract these frogs? The answer is simple: exist. What you do for a living doesn't matter. Your hobbies, unimportant. Life goals, trash. Just exist. Now, if you do want to up your game on fuckboy attraction, there are a couple of things that I do recommend. Number one, practice a fuckboy meditation every day. So let's try this together. Everyone close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. Open mouth exhale. And silently say, I don't catch feelings, I catch flights. I am confused and it's fun. Inhale, exhale. Beautiful. Open your eyes. This meditation will help you to truly embody fuckboy intentions and manifest your heart's desire. Now, number two, lie. Lie to yourself like you've never lied before. All right? I want you to tell yourself that you're okay with being on this super confusing, dishonest roller coaster because the buildup is unpredictable and the climax is huge. And let's be dishonest. It's a fun ride and the operator is hot. All right, so congratulations, you have done it. You're officially in a super toxic situationship where emotions run high and anxiety gets a full body workout. In order to maintain this, we must know how to keep a fuckboy. We have to know, right? And the answer is very, very simple. Don't. Do not keep a fuckboy under any circumstance. No matter how hard they try to digmatize you, it is not worth the pain and stress that this might cause you. You can't change people. They have to want to change on their own. And the truth is, fuckboys aren't even fuckboys. They are sad boys. Sad boys who are trained by the patriarchy to believe that expressing their feelings is wrong and shows weakness. All right? It's terrible. The truth is, we all deserve love, every one of us. As the great Carrie Bradshaw once said, I want real love, consuming, overwhelming, inconvenient, can't breathe love. We deserve for someone to look at us the way that Travis looks at Taylor, the way that Lawrence looks at Issa, the way that Mac Miller used to look at Ariana Grande. We need that, okay? So let's please normalize sharing our feelings and celebrate vulnerability. It is okay to be human. You are enough, okay? You are. I promise. And if you are a sad boy, please consider therapy. Thank you.
Can I give you a hug? I'm not letting her go off stage for one reason. By looking solely at our shoe choice, one of us really was supposed to be up here talking about fuckboys. The other one should be at home eating meatloaf. So, yeah, that was... come over to my house for meatloaf. Also, just as an aside, Megan brought banana bread for all the speakers. So, you're fantastic. Thank you. Whew, she can say a lot of places very fast in a row. Did you see that she's a freestyle rapper? She is really a freestyle rapper, and it is amazing. What is less amazing? Let's bring it down. Aloha. We've made it to our last speaker of the night. Not Megan, the next guy. So we're happy that you made it here. This guy, who didn't answer any of my goddamn questions.
True. That is not true.
Really?
Yes, I'm happy to answer them now.
Please.
Yeah.
She said the same thing with me.
I know. What is that? Okay.
Lost your face.
Yes, I progressively shaved over these last 2 weeks.
Hold, please. First run through, full beard. Thank you. Second run through, mustache. I didn't know who the guy was. I spent half of our rehearsal going, who is that dude?
No shit. And now, who are you? Yeah. Okay. Everybody, Joseph. I'm going to hop off.
Thank you, Kat. That's really sweet. I won't be shaving anything else, I promise. I'm Joseph Nelson. I don't know why they cut those off, but I drew these slides myself, and oh, I screwed up. No. You know what? I was just kidding. I didn't screw up, but I've screwed up plenty of times in my life, and I bet you have too. You know, in my day-to-day job, I'm a director of program management, and in that world, accidents are verboten. But I'm also a musician, and in that world, accidents can be magic. And that got me thinking, what else in our lives, in our world, are not here because of intention, but because of accidents? I think the more we look, and especially the more times I looked, the more times I'm surprised that this or this, the different things I'm seeing, stuck around and they were accidents. And now we're going to look at 4 examples of happy accidents that shaped our world. Sometimes for the better. I'm going to let you be the judge. The first accident is about one of the F's of biology, the 3 F's of biology: feeding, fighting, and mating. But this one starts not in the bed, but in a laboratory in 1989. 2 British scientists were trying to make a drug to treat high blood pressure and coronary heart disease. They're trying to save lives. But the company in clinical trials found that it was rather stimulating in men. Patented in 1996, it was called sildenafil citrate, and now it's what we call Viagra. Yeah, there you go. Thank you. And it's made a lot of happy accidents, I'm sure. Maybe some people in the audience here. And as an externality, it's the leading cause of sexually transmitted infection in the elderly. And the 2 British scientists, this is great, Peter Dunn and Albert Wood. It's like it's predestined. All right, our second example, we go to 1693 in France, and here the clergy are distilling spirits, they're brewing beer, they're making wine. Back then, priests could party. But one priest was trying to make a wine in the bottle, but accidentally had a second fermentation. That means bubbles in the bottle. And see, a second fermentation was discovered 30 years prior in England, but it was overshadowed by this creation in France. The clergy, his name was Dom Perignon, and he didn't even like the bubbles in the bottle. He tried to remove them. But the appellation stuck. It's what we know now call today champagne. Yeah, and without that, I can't think of anything that we used to celebrate as much as we do champagne. If we use coffee or something else, it just wouldn't have, had the same ring to it. I know I'm going to have champagne later, so, this is how we do it. For our third example, this is my favorite one. We go to 1940s America. We're talking about the electric guitar, probably the most beloved instrument of the 20th century. And back then, the electric guitar was basic. It was just the hardware on the guitar and the amplifier. There's nothing in between. It sounded fine, but to our ears, it's missing something. It's missing flavor. It's missing neurospice. It's missing something to give it flavor. That was by accident. See, 2 separate stories kind of corroborate this. So one was during a recording, a switch in the desk broke, and they just kept going with the recording. In another story, someone broke their amp before recording. But either way, they could have re-recorded it, but they didn't. This fuzzy, distorted sound that was produced afterwards, they liked it, they kept it in. And that was another happy accident. Without that, we wouldn't have had all the loud electric music we have today. It was in part because of this direct accident. All right, now, last one. 1962, Japanese director Kira Kurosawa is making Sanjuro. If you've seen it, this is great. So at the climax, 2 samurais standing off, and then the climax, big action, and a huge blood geyser. Well, that wasn't by accident. I mean, there was supposed to be some blood, but not this much. You see, the blood pump prop broke, and it made this huge blood geyser. This was by accident. Now, they could have kept it in, but he decided to leave it. Now, without that, we might not have had as much slasher horror movies like my friends like today and Tarantino violence. So there's 4 accidents of sex, drugs, rock and roll, and death that show, that show that without happy accidents, our world might not look the same. And a lot of you might be accidents. I think I was, but my parents don't corroborate that story. So I'm going to ask you, when you're creating something, and it doesn't go to plan, take a second. See what you made. Be brave enough to show someone else. See what they think. And if it's better, be willing to accept something better than your plan A. Thank you.
Nice job, man I still don't recognize. All right. Can I get a big round of applause for all the speakers? Now, for those of you that have in fact been to Ignite Denver before, you've probably seen our speed rounds. In these speed rounds, we randomly pick a deck and we bring somebody up here to make up their own talk on the spot, but instead of 15 seconds a slide, they get 5 seconds a slide. And because of my talk, procrastination, my ability to grab people to volunteer to do this did not come to fruition until I realized, holy shit, Megan is an improviser and brought so many improviser friends. There's some of you in there, I know. If at least one person of the improvisational persuasion would be feeling brave and be willing to come up here and do one. I do also have a special guest that's going to do one, and then I will be doing one. So is there anybody out there willing?
Yay!
Your name's Q? Yes. Sweet. Everybody say, hey, Q. Yeah. All right, so you get it? You're making up a whole talk, 5 seconds a slide.
I'm ready for this.
You're going to blow my mind. Get ready. Once it starts, you can see him down there, too.
Perfect. Good evening, Bug Theater. How are we feeling? All right, I'm a high school teacher in Texas. So, explaining slides that I've never seen before is how I get paid. So let's do this. Mad money. What a great presentation, right? Capitalism, skiing, I don't do that. Not because of this or because of this. We can talk about inflation, but I'd rather talk about how insanely inflated everyone's speeches were in a good way. And I would like to talk about money, but I'm a teacher in Texas. Why do you think I don't read my slides ahead of time? Capitalism claptrap. I love my job too much to really talk about that. So let's talk about how the industry costs can change, just like these slides, and how I'm trying to wrap my head around how many numbers trillion is. Also, I do not believe that Japan works less than us. I am calling poo-poo on those slides. I am just saying that ChatGPT is able to pull up slides as well. I am a high school teacher. Robots are not taking over the world, but they are making everyone lazier. I would also like to talk about how fucking lame Elon Musk is. I know that this is Colorado and that's like preaching to the choir, but hey, you guys like mountains? Me too, and me too. You guys like Texas? I promise it's not all what you see on the news. I am not just walking around dunking on Ted Cruz. I also do it sitting down. Now, we also have this. I like all these pictures. Very cool sharing your family and friends. My personal bank account's right here. My wife is there. She's recording this because she's using it for ammo or leverage or a third secret thing. I like QR codes, but they were not fast enough. Thank you all so much for listening.
You know how when it's like, I'm going to bring up a volunteer. Oh, God, it's going to suck. And then it doesn't. That was amazing. Also, thank you for being a teacher. Yeah, the next person who's going to be coming up here. Actually, no, I lied. I'm doing the next one. I'm making him do the last one. So let's talk about me for a moment. Just kidding. Here's my little serious blurb, and then I will go into ridiculousness. I just want to say thank you so much for coming. All the speakers that show up, I never know it's coming. I'm like, maybe this is going to be my last year. And then everybody does their talks, and I'm like, oh my God, people are incredible. So, like, if you're losing faith in humanity, I encourage you to come to these forever for the rest of time. Yeah. Because the speakers make my heart happy, and you make my heart happy. And really, I get to be vulnerable and my authentic self with you because you guys won't stop me. So, with that, I'm going to do a speed round, which I have not done ever, I don't think. Anyway, let's do this, Pete. Oh, man, so I dyed my hair blonde once. It was a mistake. I talked to these guys about it first, and they're like, yeah, girl, you should. And they lied. That's what they did when they saw me with my blonde hair, and I said, well, I didn't come out here to look like a Karen Terrier, but here we are. This is my husband who left me behind as a result of my poor hair decision. These people, however, showed up and were like, hey, girl. These guys were like, hey, girl. They wondered what was going on. I didn't know what was going on. There were science experiments. People showed up, lots of explosions, so many people. I became an internet phenomenon. And then this guy showed up in my life. He changed everything. Aloha. Aloha. So now, despite the fact that I have gotten rid of the blonde and decided, let's go hard on gray, I'm happier now. And I have partners that seem confused. Which tracks. Even though they disagree, they're like, no, you're great. It tracks. See, these are the guys that I tried dating when my hair was blonde. They knew it wasn't right. They knew that I needed to love myself first and make out with Travis Kelce. My Olin Mills moment. Olin Mills, right? Is that the, hey, it's not up there. Now I want to find it. That was stunning. Wow, I'm fueled. All right, the last person who's going to speak tonight is the former host of Ignite Denver from a gajillion years ago, before I got on stage. Also, one of my favorite people ever, this is a bad follow-up, because he seems like me, except he's bald and smarter and kinder, but otherwise, totally me. Brilliant storyteller, amazing human being. I don't know where the hell he is. Hey, Jared. Wow. Hey, Jared. That was a jewelry thing, right? Jared. Excuse me, please. Oh, wait. Oh, he's also really good at procrastinating. What?
Hey, thank you. There are a lot of curtains.
All right, so you understand this, yeah?
Okay, this is happening right now.
Yeah, 1 minute, 5 seconds a slide. Yeah. You are making up this talk.
I just make it up.
Which is amazing because he didn't get here until 25 minutes ago because he was celebrating Snow Day with his children. And that's real.
Totally forgot. It was an amazing end of romantic comedy running through the rain to get to cat moment. So, yeah.
Have fun.
Okay, here we go. And aloha is what we say in Hawaii. It means a lot of things. What a lot of people don't know is also fuck off if you're not native. Now, here's the thing that we want to say is what they just said with that beautiful string of consonants. And what does it make me think of? Not this, but those two people right there. What are we about to do? Make beautiful babies. And what are they going to be a mix of? All this. And then we're going to have the fruits of our labor. And what I would say first and foremost is whatever you see next is what's on my mind. And we used to call Grandpa Vine and then his children here. This was a terrible situation. You know, we were like, we know you're relaxed in Hawaii, but when you're drowning, you're going to have to be a little more desperate and not hang loose. So, and again, as I say, slow food is the answer to whatever ails you in your dietary needs. So fiber, give your kids Wicker as a snack and they won't ask anymore, and then have this guy come over and trim the babies. Now, if if no can, the one thing you want to do is not the can, this is the luau. This is the luau, okay? Now, you're like, I want to die. Well, come with us to, I don't know how Mile High Stadium ties in with what was just happening in Paradise. But again, cardboard straws is how we're going to find our way out of this. So thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm making Jared stay up here as my emotional support host. I just wanted to say thanks again for everybody who came out tonight. Please be safe going home. Please reach out to us if you'd be interested in doing a talk. Talk to one of the speakers and have them tell you what a great experience it was. Because I'm pretty positive they'll all tell you it was a great experience. We even have previous Ignite speakers who are here of their own accord because they like it. So I encourage you to do whatever you're passionate about and be kind to each other. And hug a Jared. So, yeah.
Good night.
Wow. Good night.
Flower delivery truck, walking in on a murder happen, then getting chased by a Japanese assassin, moving slick and fresh like an Altoid pack. That's Miyamoto with a cowboy hat. An army of ninjas might swarm ya, and a time cop might get sent through a time portal and awaken them to the fact that Mayor Knopf's plotting to blow up the hockey stadium. But this they can't stand for, so they get to the stadium, confront the mayor and the hinge board, throw a power line in the water, start going nuts, kick the mayor off the balcony to the van and blow it up. Despicable people, everyone's lethal. They're the wolves and the sheep who be making your knees creep, cause they're sneaking in while you're sleeping. To them the mayor's a king. In the city of paradise, you will be paralyzed. Everywhere there's terror and eyes, and the mayor plays with our lives. And in his office there's a murderer who favors knives. Miyamoto's ninja spies, who know what you will buy. Who slinging roses daily until that fateful day we walked in on murder, and the murderer perceived my face. He hid in a closet and alerted Miyamoto's chase. He said a killer ninja, now that killer ninja's pushing daisies. Doesn't faze me, JCVD baby, and we bout to double team it when we jump into the fray with a futuristic lady who sent from time to save me, stop the bombing of the stadium and make a better day. JCVD, speedy, MDD, with BB, don't see me, taking out machines with your speed, with electricity, fighting off a murderer, taking him out with a lightning feet. Acid, bass, and burning, that's justice, what you get for the life you lead. Sight to see, man out is running, but he ain't right as me. Papa JCVD is coming, he's probably right to flee. Trifling, thinking he ever could put a price to me. Knock him off the roof with explosive, I'll probably write this thing.
Perfecting this action of life, restoring his action, action a fraction of a timetable, wheel of fortune, winning, fulfilling with a minute hand, a panel, and the clock keep ticking and is my gesture. Showing feelings is meaningless, he gets the pleasure. Licking the heels above, driving the head below. Beats of a pauper are so shallow. Mr. Jones on the house for some